A show made for gamers. A show made by gamers. Brought to you by Ace Corporations. Pillars of Gaming. Welcome to episode 2 of Pillars of Gaming. Today we'll be discussing game mechanics. And I'll be, as your host, in the hot seat, and we'll be asking the questions for these two gentlemen. Let's start off with our first question. Good mechanics in games.
Okay. What would you think? What would you say that are good mechanic in games?
Well, for me, we can start off with something pretty simple, and a game again that I have on my channel. Another plugin for me. So, from Prince of Persia, the time mechanics, and the rewind mechanics, and the warp time mechanics in general. I know that's not the first game that used time mechanics, and in general warping time mechanics, but it was very good. It polished the system, and it became a staple for the game.
And it basically allowed the players to have more options as well.
Not only it gave you more options in combat, and it was tied in with actually solving puzzles in the game, which made it a lot more fun. It was not only a rewind system where you die and you basically rewind back. You could actually save it for where you most need it, which was the cool part. And because Prince of Persia, the first 3 games, I think, like Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and Two Thrones, had specific checkpoints where you can save. And because you could save only at those checkpoints, actually having a time rewind and a time stop mechanic worked very well for the game. Because that made the genre what it was. Like, that made Prince of Persia games what they were.
I have to agree with that one. One mechanic that I think rivals it in puzzle solving is the portal gun from Portal 1 and 2.
Okay.
The creators of Valve creating that game honestly had a very good idea. 2 portals simultaneously existing, traveling from one point to the other, but you can only have one entrance, one exit. It's a very good mechanic that forces you to think through what you're doing. It forces you to look what's around you, the specific spots that are going to work, analyze yourself, analyze your surroundings. It's a perfect combination between difficulty and basically making the puzzle easy.
Yeah, I would agree that definitely the Portal mechanics in Portal work good. And many other games actually managed to figure out a good way to use that as a mechanic.
What about you? Do you have a good mechanic?
Well, I like the parkour in uh, Dying Light, the first one. It's very cool. You can jump around and travel very fast, even without the option fast travel in the world.
Oh yeah, that is a nice point that you mentioned here.
Oh yeah.
That games
You
that
can
don't
get
have
shortcuts very
yes,
easy with
that's
the
very
parkour.
cool. Speaking about shortcuts, Dark Souls games with their shortcuts.
What the fuck do you mean shortcuts? What?
Well, you basically unlock shortcuts in the game.
Aren't they like
Yeah, that's a good
save
mechanic.
points?
No, you can unlock different doors or open up ladders, terrain, and other things like that, which allow you to have a shortcut and bypass
Oh.
enemies,
Oh, that's what you.
making the terrain interactable in such a way that it makes it a mechanic. You basically unlock shortcuts.
And plus, it gives weak players the opportunity to say, "Fuck that! I'm gonna go
Well,
somewhere else."
yes, it does.
And speedrunners can beat the game way faster.
True.
Yeah.
And on the topic still of overall the parkour mechanics, Titanfall is a game that introduced very good low wall climbing mechanics and wall running mechanics.
I think it was the first FPS game that actually introduced mechanics like that.
Yeah, maybe it was the first FPS game that did that. Apex Legends afterwards picked up those mechanics and made Apex really fun because of that. The sliding mechanics, the wall running mechanics, the climbing mechanics, that made first person shooters a lot more interesting in modern day times.
it can give you a little bit more of an option to get to a higher point, higher ground, or maybe to sneak around your enemies as well.
Like,
That can-
if the viewers remember, but last time we talked about first-person shooters again, and you said that you really like first-person shooters. And I said that I kind of dislike them, but that's why Apex is different.
What I like about the parkour in Dying Light is that you can interact with almost anything, almost every building. You don't have like games like God of War, the new ones,
Or Assassin's Creed.
or
does it
Assassin's
as well.
Creed. That
You have to grab up specific
Specific-
ledges and
Specific
spots.
ledges, but while in
And you-
Dying Light,
and you-
it's everything.
and in Dying Light, because of this ability, you can find secret things around the map.
The freedom of movement that it gives you allows you to actually
Yes.
find.
We cannot
Anything.
forget the upgrade system for the parkour. Eventually, over time, you level up your character. They give you skill points that you can put into actual upgrades for your parkour, giving you even more options. We cannot forget that one.
Yeah,
Sadly, I think it was slightly limited.
You
They
can-
could have done more.
You
The
can
first
even-
game was still very grounded in reality.
if
That's
I can
the
remember
difference.
very well, you can even at some point jump on the heads of the zombies if you want.
Yeah, you could. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love doing that. It was so fun. Looking at their faces just being squished by your boot. It was actually very fun, yeah.
Okay, should we move on to the
Yeah.
next question?
Yeah, let's
I
move
think
on.
so.
Okay, we're going on to the next one, and we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna talk about bad mechanics. In
Oh
games.
god, I have way
Because
too many.
fine, we talked about good mechanics.
But those are the problem.
Good mechanics are a lot more than bad ones. But
Yeah.
let's see what we have for bad mechanics. Over limited inventory.
Oh god.
One of the worst things.
Like, what are we talking? Like over limited inventory.
I know you have an
Minecraft-
idea of what over limited inventory is.
taking
But
and I
five
have
items
mine.
from
Let's
one
hear your idea. Minecraft 60 maximum 64 items or
No, no,
Resident Evil.
And then even you can get even more
I'm
nowadays.
fine with
Yeah.
Because you have, what was it? Shulker?
Choker boxes,
Choker.
yeah.
I was gonna say choker.
Joker boxes.
The choker box.
Shit, I'm gonna make an illustration about that.
Nobody heard that.
I'm gonna make an illustration about that. Here it is.
No.
What is your idea of bad inventory? Overly limited.
Weight system, where it doesn't need to be there. I'm fine with inventory system. I'm fine with World of Warcraft's inventory system, for example, where you have different bags and you can store things. You upgrade your bags and you have more storage. That's fine because you have a good crafting system there. You have professions there. And you have a lot of items that you actually don't need because you can use them as, I think it was called transmog or something like that, which is basically your skin system
Yeah.
in World of Warcraft or in more recent iterations of World of Warcraft.
I don't know about that one, but sure, okay.
Well, for example, because I've mostly played Wrath of the Lich King, no surprise here.
Everyone does.
Yeah, but Wrath of the Lich King didn't have that.
5 minutes later.
So World of Warcraft had good inventory mechanics for me, but having a weight system, for example, in Fallout games,
Oh.
especially in Fallout 4, or having it in Elder Scrolls games, Skyrim,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
you
the only
don't
one.
need it there. You just don't fucking need it there. It's extremely boring and annoying because
What do you
you're
mean?
meant to collect items in those games.
Okay.
You're meant to stuff your pants with everything that you can find, basically. You're hoarding everything that you can find, and that's a part of the charm of the game. That you're hoarding all those items and things that you can use at some point. You can swap out weapons, builds, or whatever, because that gives you the freedom, and having a weight system there is unnecessary. Okay, and
For-
bad mechanics for you?
For inventory specifically as well,
Okay.
I have to say Resident Evil's mechanics for inventory.
Oh, the Tetris one.
I didn't play Tetris.
Okay.
But like Resident Evil's mechanics, I understand it's grounded in reality. You cannot carry thousands of shotguns. You cannot carry unlimited, godly amounts of ammo. I understand that there has to be some limit to it, but why does it have to be basically your inventory system over there is a grid, and each item covers a specific part of that grid. If that grid is filled, if everything in your grid of the inventory is filled, you cannot put anything else in there. For example, a shotgun can take 8 slots.
Yeah, which overall is half of your inventory.
And you over there, and while it is grounded in reality, that's how it really is. And the problem that I have with it, it's very hindering. And the biggest problem is you cannot upgrade it. The inventory system that you start with ends the same way.
Wait, didn't the newer games actually let you upgrade it by finding pouches and adding them on
Yeah, but
Leon?
they're so insignificant that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it still gives you a few more extra spots. I mean, you can carry handgun
And,
ammo.
and the problem is there's not that many little amounts of items that you can pick up. For example, healing herbs, you take only one spot. You cannot stack it. They're non-stackable.
Mm.
Really?
They're non-stackable. And they
Wait,
basically go to
aren't they
another
stackable
slot.
if they're from the same type?
Depends.
Aren't they like stackable if
Depends
it's a
if
green
it's
herb
ammo,
or red?
if it's ammo box, it stacks to a certain point.
Oh yeah.
But for example, getting herbs and bandages, making them into the med kit that you have in the game, it's non-stackable. Why? Why make it this inconvenient for the player? Yes, I get it. It just makes med kits less valuable. But the problem is the solution basically is scatter a bit more the loot that you can find. Okay. What other mechanic would you say that is bad?
Well, let's talk about the stamina one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that you cannot get tired from hitting a monster 5 times.
You're talking about
Fighting mechanics.
fighting mechanics, yeah, but there are specific
running.
games that are guilty of that. Like, what game would you say that?
Like,
Has a bad stamina
are you
system.
talking Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, because Legends of Zelda, one of the newer ones. What was it called?
the one that is on the Nintendo
Damn,
Switch.
we're a gaming channel and we can't fucking think of a game.
On the Nintendo Switch.
No, it wasn't only on the Nintendo Switch. I think you could play it on PC as well, on PlayStation.
No, you can't. It's illegal.
I can't remember. Did Silent Hill have this fighting mechanic with the stamina? Because I
think
can
it
remember
did.
well.
I think it did.
Yeah, that was very, very stupid. I didn't like that.
Dying Light.
Dying Light. Yeah.
Even Dying Light, the golden gem that it is, struggled from that as well.
Yeah, you have to upgrade it, and in order to upgrade it, you have to be usable. You have to be end game.
You said specifically in fighting, right?
Yeah.
Like Dying Light had a problem that you get easily tired from hitting a few zombies, but you can almost infinitely climb, jump, and parkour in general.
Yeah.
Until the second. Okay.
Until the second
the
game.
second game that made the parkour system even more insane and added a stamina bar, and it's like,
But
it
now,
still doesn't ground in reality.
let me reverse it here. Fallout has stamina system when you run,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you don't have a stamina system when you fight and shoot.
That's
Why
funny.
do you need?
Wait, do you get tired if you shoot?
No, that's the thing. You don't get tired from shooting, fighting, or whatever. You can beat up like 1,000 ghouls, but
I
you
mean,
don't.
okay,
He
for
was
shooting,
asking
I-
in the
No,
real world.
in real life, like shooting does not tire as much as you think.
Try that again.
Okay.
It does. It
okay,
does.
it does tire,
And
but
it's
not-
very
but
straining for the shoulders, especially.
it is training for
My
the
guy,
shoulders.
he's shooting a minigun.
Okay, that
And
one
for
I
your
understand.
wrists,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
for the wrist, but it's not gonna be as tiring as you going out and swinging a bat.
Yeah, but you don't have stamina for swinging your bat or your hammer.
But
Or
you
your-
but you get tired if you walk 10 meters.
Exactly. Like you run for 5 meters and he starts grunting and puffing and huffing.
But motherfucker has access to military weapons and is over there like,
Carries a
I'm fine.
huge amount of ammunition, weapons, and useless items. You have a minigun that you can carry, and for fuck's sake, you get tired from running.
Let's talk about unkillable monsters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
That's-
don't like that. I mean, in
Well, it
Res-
depends where the unkillable monster
in-
is in which game.
in Resident Evil, if I can remember, you can stop it for a certain amount of time.
The giant dude.
Yeah, I always forget his name.
No one knows his name. No one likes him.
Especially when they allow you to kill a specific enemy later on in the game.
Yeah,
You can't kill it currently, you can just either hinder it, slow it down, or whatever. 2 levels afterwards, oh, now you're able to kill it.
With fire
Or something like that.
And you're over there like, bullets didn't work, but fire does. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah.
Alien Isolation.
yeah.
Guilty of that as well. Like, I get the alien like should be very strong and
Very
all,
durable, yeah.
and very durable. But come on.
Give us something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video of someone shooting it non-stop with a shotgun, and
But-
he
yeah.
just at some point the xenomorph despawned. He didn't kill it
It just despawned.
or something like that. I don't remember it very well, but you cannot kill it.
There are situations where unkillable mobs can work, but it's in a situation if your character doesn't have the option to fight.
But that's different. You're
Not
in
only-
general not allowed there to fight. So even if you kill the enemy, it's through some other way. I get it there. Like, they're unkillable due to the fact that you're unable to fight.
But making an enemy unkillable when you're allowed to fight is very unsatisfying.
Yeah, it's kind
absolutely.
of stupid.
StarCraft 2 was a little bit guilty of that in its co-op missions. In the co-op missions, you could get mutations, for example, and you could play mutations to get more XP and so on, and better rewards in general. And when you're doing all of that, sometimes you get a mutation where you get unkillable monsters. And other strategy games have done that. You get a monster that you can't kill, it just goes and kills a part of your base, or it kills a specific amount of units. You basically have to sacrifice units so it despawns, goes away, or dies on its own. I
Yeah.
mean, it's there to hinder you, to slow down your progress as unkillable monsters in most games.
But it should limit your progress to a point.
Yeah, exactly. It should limit your
Like
progress to a
maybe it
point.
should slow you down trying to kill it. Maybe it's more difficult to kill and it slows you down, but not being able to kill it at all, and you just watch it destroy part of your base. Why?
It's
Why?
just annoying.
It's
It's
just
just unnecessary and annoying. After a quick coffee break, we're back with the next question. And we're going to be talking about unique mechanics in games.
Okay. Oh, I have a good one for that.
Okay, you can start off then.
World of Warcraft system for auctioning items.
Fine, yeah.
Usually the beginning was basically you go to different quests, you get different items. You have the shopkeepers, they have items, not that useful, but it gets you a good start into the new zones. And you potentially reach a higher level, you can go to different dungeons. In there you can get these items. Auctions are usually... Auctions usually go to the late game, the time that you have the most amount of money.
Can I lighten that coin purse for you?
Get the certain amount of gear, and there's a way for you to get that gear at a cheaper price, and you basically bid yourself against other people for you to get the gear that you want that is perfect for your build.
An important part about the auction system in World of Warcraft is that you can actually buy with gold tokens that allow you to play the game without spending real life money for it. Because
Well-
it's a subscription based game, as most of you already know. And you can use your in-game currency, the gold, basically, to buy tokens which you can spend to keep on playing.
Basically, yes. And the other thing is it adds a whole different element to getting the gear. It's not just going to dungeons, going on back and forth.
Yeah, because in World of Warcraft some items are unique.
There is also specific dungeons that come out once per rotation.
Yes.
And the next time you're gonna get that dungeon and gonna get that specific gear is probably years later or maybe a couple
But
of
the
months
thing
later.
is that you can't actually auction out everything. Due to the fact that, again, some items are soul-bound. And as a soul-bound item, that's only to your character. None other character can actually get that item. Raids and dungeons have like a drop chance. And because the drop chance for specific items is very low, some of the items are soul bound, which means that you can't actually sell them to another player. You're the only one that can use them.
A few moments later.
So Warframe uses a very similar system for that. It has a great auction house.
5 minutes later.
And you can buy the necessary things through the auction.
6.5 hours later.
Yeah, the other element that auctions add is another way for you to earn currency into the games that you play.
Yeah.
It's basically a second way for you to earn currency. Get the best gear, for example, that is a very low drop chance.
That's the more important part for me. That makes it unique.
Yeah, and then you have the customer that benefits because he gets the item that he couldn't get, he would have to grind for hours in order to get. And then you have the seller that also profits from this because he gets the money and he can use that money for the next auction that he's interested in.
And reminds me of TF2 trading system and other as such.
That's more connected to Steam itself.
No, you can in the game. You can trade
Really?
in the game, yeah.
You can
Yeah,
trade
you can.
inside
There
the
is
game.
in-game trading. But
I
it's
thought it
kind of
was only
shit.
through Steam.
It's really shit, yeah. And it's, as you said, actually, it is connected through Steam.
Okay.
Okay, what about you? What do you think is a very unique game mechanic that you would like?
Well, it's unique, a bit useless because it's not connected to gameplay. I like mechanics in games that are connected to the main characters but are not part of the gameplay itself. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
I will use as an example The Last of Us 2. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ellie plays guitar. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
She learned that from Joel and she could play guitar very well. Cool,
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
But after she got her fingers bitten off,
Okay.
she couldn't play as good as before. As I said, it's not crucial to the gameplay, but it's part of her character. The things that she inherits from her father figure.
Let's start it over.
Nah.
Faggot figure.
Faggot figure.
Faggot figure.
Faggot figure. So, the player can play guitar through her. And I can give an example.
First-hand example.
You can play chords on the guitar. And it's funny because it's not really funny, it's actually tragic. The main character gets her fingers bitten off, those two. And usually you need them to play the chords. That's D major, but she doesn't have this finger, and it doesn't sound as good. A little bit empty. Even the G major.
I get what you mean. Like, you have the mechanic to play the guitar
Yes.
pretty realistically in the game.
Yeah.
And when she loses the fingers, she basically can't play correctly the guitar.
Yes.
She has limitations.
Yeah, she has
She's limited.
limitations.
And it's kind of fucked up because that's one of the things that connects her to her father figure.
The key is in the details here. The same goes for The Last of
It
Us.
grounds the game. It puts it in a realistic term.
Not only that, it
and
puts
makes
it in a
the
realistic
characters relatable. Because if you see
Exactly.
a cute animal on the street,
That is also
you will
true.
pet
The
it.
guitar thing in Last of Us makes the character a lot more relatable. The petting of animals makes the character a lot more relatable. Okay, we can add here as well the mechanics from Porto that you previously mentioned, and we can add the mechanics from Prey. Both very unique ways of traversing terrain and solving puzzles and handling with enemies. The portal gun and the glue gun.
And
from
it's
the two
amazing
games.
because the portal gun, we already said that it's a good mechanic, but it's also a unique mechanic at the same time. And
Definitely.
it covers two categories, which is very rare for game developers to achieve.
Not only that, but the glue gun from Prey is very useful in terrain traversal and the way you handle enemies as well. And it's a unique way to approach enemies and to handle enemies. Instead of just full on out shooting them or killing them, you stop them in their tracks, you freeze them, or with the portal gun, you're actually able to destroy turrets and solve different problems in the environment.
It gives you a more creative way to think throughout the missions that
That's
you
what
encounter.
makes them unique, because it gives you all that creativity. We can add, for example, the time warping abilities here as well from Prince of Persia. Being able to use a specific way to defeat enemies or traverse terrain using your abilities or your weapons is very unique in general.
I cannot go throughout talking about unique game mechanics without talking the original game Skate.
Okay.
First created for the Xbox. Basically, they many years they tried to make the Tony Hawk game first with creating skateboarding mechanics. But the problem with that one was that it didn't ground itself in realism. You basically mash buttons and you perform tricks with outlandish travel distance. Not that Skate doesn't have that flaw as well. It can be unrealistic, but the difference is basically it uses the analog stick on your right, usually used for controlling the camera. This time they decided to use it for a completely different reason. Your camera is fixed. You mainly focus on the tricks. And basically every type of movement that you make, it creates a different trick. You learn more throughout the game. You go through the game learning more and more tricks, which are very difficult to perform altogether. Each and every one of them add to a counter, which actually increases the amount of points that you can get from a certain mission. It's a very good way to represent how skateboarding is really difficult to perform.
We can't go without mentioning Alien Isolation.
Yeah, of course.
It's a little bit different as a mechanic. Again, closer to the guitar thing, but in a different
No,
way.
not exactly. It's actually part of the. It's crucial for the gameplay because it's the predatory behavior of the xenomorph. It works in a very simple way, actually. It has two AIs. One is the director, and the other one is the xenomorph. The director knows your location and the location of the xenomorph. And if you're hidden, it gives the xenomorph hints.
Okay.
He gives
it gives hints.
He gives hints to the xenomorph.
Aha.
He doesn't say, "Where are you?" He says, "In what location you are."
It provides you with the general location of where you're hiding.
And the xenomorph goes there and starts searching for you. And if you stay hidden too long in
one place, basically.
one place, he will find you inevitably. And it creates the illusion that the xenomorph learns because he becomes more aggressive.
And it keeps you more on your toes.
Yes.
You gotta keep on moving. You can't be just stationed at one place and do nothing. Which is the difference between most stealth mechanics in this game, for example. Because usually, like Assassin's Creed, a typical game, the stealth mechanics are pretty bad. In a way.
And the reason they're pretty bad is because the AI is not the smartest.
To finish off this episode, we're going to be talking for overused mechanics. That doesn't mean specifically bad or good mechanics. Those are mechanics that either don't belong in a game or that they're just everywhere and they're just time fillers in some games.
I'll start it off. How
Fine.
about durability mechanics? The one game that I think that doesn't really fit with the durability mechanics is actually a very recent game that I really like, Hytale.
Oh,
Durability mechanics are great, but whenever it comes to actually very difficult and very copious methods of updating your gear, adding a durability mechanic kind of hinders the gameplay.
Why?
It tries
Can
to.
you explain?
The reason is because Hyto tries to focus right now most on sandbox. It has an adventure mode coming, but for example, right now we only have sandbox elements to it, which means you gather materials, you build something that you love, that that beautifies the world a little bit more for you. You go around finding new mobs to add it to your memories, add it to the memory section, which are in the Forgotten Temples. Durability is used way too much, and just Hyto is one of the most recent victims of it. You don't need to add durability to a game that is very difficult to progress through the different items. And especially when it comes to being an exploration game, it hinders your exploration.
Would you say that Minecraft does it better than Hytale?
Depends. I personally think not.
Really?
I personally think not. Because, for example, yes, I understand durability for stone tools, iron tools. For those, I kind of understand. Even a little bit for diamond. But whenever it comes to netherite,
Oh yeah, the netherite.
netherite is really difficult to actually locate. It can take you can take hours of actual just mining or explosions in order for you to find enough to be able to actually make netherite. And in order to make netherite, you also need the upgrade that you get from the bastions, one of the most difficult locations for you to go through. And as well as that, you need diamonds. Diamonds take time. So the upgrade for the netherite takes time. You need to find gold as well. And you need 4 netherite scraps, 4 gold bars in order to make 1 netherite ingot.
When you reach to that point that you're gathering basically netherite, you already have like mending and unbreaking. In Minecraft, durability mechanics are overall fine until you reach a certain point.
Yeah. Like at the beginning tools, yeah, sure, add
Your end
durability.
game tools shouldn't be breaking.
But you end
That's
game
the
tool,
idea of end game.
yeah,
See,
because
yeah.
at the end, yes, you have the best tools, but now you have to make XP farms just to make sure that motherfucker lasts.
Breath of the Wild, guilty again of the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't need durability there in general. Each game has it as a tick box. Basically, they're ticking off things that they gotta do. While we're on the topic, we can talk about survival mechanics as well. Like, I know that you two like survival mechanics.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm fine with the crafting mechanics overall, but I don't like the survival meters. If I had only a sanity meter, fine. That makes the game fun, because most games usually put sanity, make it in a unique way. Like Darkest Dungeon, for
Yeah.
example.
H.P. Lovecraft's
HP Lovecraft.
Untold Stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get the highest sanity meter,
And-
I mean the lowest sanity meter,
And
you
again,
kill
that-
yourself. You basically kill yourself in the game.
the genre that suffers most with survival mechanics, they add them and it just hinders your playthrough, is RPGs.
Yeah, RPGs and MMORPGs.
And,
Some
yeah,
of the
you're right.
MMORPGs actually do have survival mechanics that you don't actually need in those games. Specific genres just don't need extra step or something that is a time filler in the game or keeps you there for no reason, just to babysit it. Don't make it a babysitting like thing. If you have extra like survival mechanics or basically meter mechanics, let them be unique in a way. It's fine in survival games because that's what they're meant for, but don't put it where it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Basically.
I agree with that one.
Any other mechanics that you would say that are overused?
Well, we can talk about stealth games like Metal Gear Solid.
You mean like the mandatory stealth sections? or-
Yeah, mandatory stealth
Okay.
sections. They look goofy. That's
And absolutely unnecessary in some cases.
unnecessary.
As Metal Gear Solid, as you mentioned, like some sections are mandatory stealth. You just don't need that.
And if a single enemy, even though if it's reachable and very easy to kill,
If it's easy, it's
if
game
it's
over.
easy, it's game over.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the level.
For no reason, the enemy just spots you and it's game over.
It's same goes for Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, yeah, that was
the,
one
mo-
of
the
more
most recent
recent,
newbie.
yeah.
They tried to implement stealth mechanics into the game, while not being completely fleshed out. Adding them to be mandatory really hinders some missions, making it really difficult to progress. Because now it comes to how they handle through the stealth, but as well as that, it doesn't fit in it. It's Star Wars Outlaws. The first thing that comes to your mind is basically running, gunning, shooting. Stealth kind of doesn't have a place in it.
I mean, when you're thinking about outlaws, you mainly think of like bounty hunters or
Yeah.
Like,
You can have a stealth portion of it, like
stealth sections.
or stealth sections where if you do stealth, you get a bonus because nobody saw you.
That's fine. But
That's
when you
fine,
make it
but making it you have to,
mandatory, yeah.
otherwise you fail.
Or
That's when it limits from the many possible ways that you can finish the mission. It
Oh.
turns into only one way to finish the mission.
Or it's a break from the typical gameplay of the game.
Yeah.
When you go and just shoot everything, you just have one or two levels that you change it up.
Yeah, having a limited amount of stealth sections is better than actually putting them everywhere.
And not only putting them everywhere, but not making them mandatory.
Not making them an insta fail in general. When we're on that topic, and when you mentioned Ubisoft, they're guilty of another game that does that, and it's Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Like, we cannot mention.
They
Like,
added
you
it
can't skip Assassin's
They
Creed here.
ruined it in a different way.
Why in a different way? Like, in the first games, it was overall fine, but I don't understand it in the most recent Assassin's Creed games and iterations of Assassin's Creed. They're more open world. You have a much more wider variety of how you're gonna approach a segment in general. I don't understand why would you add a mandatory stealth section in Assassin's Creed, the newer ones especially. Older ones did it fine, it was still fresh mechanic, it was still interesting, but nowadays you just don't need that in those games.
I understand why they tried to add it. After all, they're assassins. They're supposed to be moving quietly, not being seen. Yes.
I mean, it's a staple of the game, but the newer games, you're not actually an assassin.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
not
thing.
even part of the assassin.
You
order.
can't call yourself an assassin whenever you're wielding a huge hammer.
You're able to absolutely take out entire outposts.
Yeah.
And suddenly in the next section, a guard spots you and that's it.
They try to move a little bit different with the Assassin's Creed genre, which is fine, but then don't add then just remove the mandatory stealth sections. of it.
Exactly. Another very similar thing to this is escort missions.
Oh.
They're annoying, slow. Some games do it fine.
Some games do it fine, but
MMORPGs overall do it fine. Like World of Warcraft, yeah, sometimes the NPCs are broken, sometimes it doesn't work correctly, sometimes the NPCs just go off track fighting something for no fucking reason when they need your
and
help.
they don't
for
force you to
protect
guard them or anything like that.
But that's not the problem. It's not the problem that they have health bars and other things like that. It's just that in some games, it's just why is it there? When you have too much of those sections, it no longer feels unique or refreshing. It no longer just breaks the overused other mechanics and it no longer just makes the gameplay refreshing. It just there for no reason.
We can talk about quick time events. They are good, but they are overused. The best example for good use of them is God of War games.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I have to agree
absolutely.
with that.
Because you have the boss fight. When you get the boss to a certain
Threshold, yeah. Or
Yeah.
down enough on its HP bar.
yeah, and then the quick events start, and after you successfully manage to execute it, it starts a cinematic.
Oh yeah, transitioning from a QT into a cinematic. That's a
I
very
think that
good
that's the
use
right
of it.
way. to go with
Definitely,
it.
definitely.
Also, as well as that, what it enhances it is basically that the QTs are very simple.
I think we can I think that the three of us can agree on this. We actually really like QTs.
I
Yeah.
love, yeah.
Like, we definitely are suckers for QT events, especially when they're done right. But again, it's overused, and you're absolutely right on that. Currently, most games actually have QTEs, even where you don't need them. Uncharted, for example.
Oh god.
It's overall well done, and it's in specific cinematic type of QTs. And I like that some of the most or more recent games that are closer to Uncharted, or basically the action adventure games, you can turn off or turn on QTs.
Yeah,
You can
can you?
either yes,
you can.
that's
haven't
what
played the
makes it
game.
actually good. But we need to talk about Until Dawn here, though. Didn't you mention that they moved it on PC or something?
They moved it on PC and they
There-
gave you the option to turn it off.
It's not necessary though there. That drags out the game. When it's with a controller, it's fine. But when it's on the computer, it just doesn't
Because it
work.
has way too many buttons and you kind of get less of a time to react.
Yeah, exactly. So don't put like QTs where you're not supposed to put QTs.
Yeah. The genre I think which has the least needed QTs are fighting games. For example,
Really?
depends on which fighting game.
Okay. Mortal
And
Kombat actually added QTEs in story mode as well,
yes, and I don't
which I
think they're
didn't
good.
like. Yeah.
I don't think they're good. It takes you out of it because you expect as soon as the bar of health for the enemy to fall down, you don't expect a QTE.
Yeah.
You don't expect it, so it comes out of the blue. It's not something that you expect to be there.
Yeah, I've already been button mashing.
I've been button
gotten my hands tired.
My fingers are already tired, and all of a sudden it's like, and not only are there QDs, they make them extremely difficult to follow. They're like up, down, AX, try. It
And
keeps on
it's
going for. It's like a long section of it.
and
You
it's
don't need
stupid
it.
if they didn't have it in the previous versions,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
and they just
at least
suddenly
in
decide
Naruto
to
they
add
started
it.
from the start. At least in Naruto they started from the start to have
That's
QTs.
a very good point.
That is a
If
very
the
good point.
game didn't have QTEs originally and you just add them for no reason because it's popular, that absolutely fits the thing of it. Overused.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is a very good example
Yeah.
of a unneeded QT event.
Any other like overused mechanics that we want to add here before we finish off the segment?
Well, the last one that I really think that we should talk about is corpse running. Basically, you die, you lost some items, but you have the option to get them back if you get them back if you go back to where you died in a certain amount of time.
One of the original games that was guilty of that is World of Warcraft, actually. It does it well, because there you go to basically your soul goes to get back to your body. But in some games like Hollow Knight or Souls-like games in general,
So it's like, yeah.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yes, it doesn't drop your items, but it does drop the credits and the souls that you've been gathering for quite a while.
Just unnecessary.
That's what I like about Terraria, because it's different from Minecraft. When you die, you keep all your stuff with you.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know that. Which is very annoying, especially in Minecraft. It's an exploration game. You don't need to lose all your items.
And especially if you can just randomly die to a random mini zombie.
No, actually, in Terraria, you keep everything.
You keep everything.
Everything.
Okay,
You
I
get
thought you
anything.
dropped like a small percentage.
In Minecraft, you can actually turn it off, though.
Although it involves cheats.
No, it
Cheats.
doesn't involve cheats.
It doesn't need because you need to first allow cheats in the game. And then you have to make /game rule keep inventory
You
off.
mean that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Now
not
they
a cheat.
added it in a different way. Basically, while you're creating the world, it has a game section game rules, and you can turn it on from there.
Okay.
So they did add a different way to add it. Although if you keep absolutely everything, it kind of hinders the point of you dying.
Does it though? You still died and you still need to backtrack. I prefer games where you don't actually lose your things. Because, I mean, I've spent time getting those things. Now, I have to not only spend time getting there, but I gotta take my things back again. That's just annoying.
I
It's a
can-
minor inconvenience,
I
but
can't
it's an
remember
inconvenience.
how exactly it worked. Did the items despawn when you log off?
Oh no.
In Minecraft, you have a timer.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
Minecraft, you have a
there's-
timer. The items disappearing is a huge hindrance on your progress. It's basically the biggest way for the game to say your time was worthless.
Yeah, it's better when you make them as one thing that you need to collect and it doesn't despawn. That's something that. Why am I mentioning Souls-like games here? Because, okay, fine, I get you lose your souls or whatever, like your currency basically. But when you die again while you're trying to get to your previous,
They disappear.
they disappear. Don't do that. Fine, I'm fine with dying and my souls being somewhere that I need to get back to and collect them.
Because in the other situation is you have multiple souls that you lost through your death, and then the time you the second time you die, you have less souls because you were trying to get the previous ones as
Yeah,
fast as possible.
And I'm already annoyed. I already have to backtrack. I'm already trying to do it in the quickest way possible. So yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes and get killed probably again.
Yeah.
Like, don't make it so my previous souls disappear. Like that's just an inconvenience and a very annoying and agitating one.
In
And
this
with
game,
the
it just
spawning items as well. That's just unnecessary.
you spend all this time farming for netherite gear just for it to despawn because you got there a second later.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. You don't need that.
I think we're going a little bit
Off track. Yeah, we're going a little bit.
No, not only that we're going off track, but we're kind of running the clock here.
Yeah.
Because this is a huge topic where we can keep on rambling endlessly, probably.
We'll save it for a future episode.
But definitely we can do that in a future episode. If you like hearing us ramble and talk about overused mechanics or in general about mechanics, we can actually make a second episode about it. Because I think we have a lot more that we can talk on this subject.
It's a big topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in future episodes, talking about the pros and cons of mechanics in a certain game.
Or something like that. Yeah. We can absolutely discuss more mechanics in another episode. So I think best thing we can do here is actually end it off so we don't drag it on too much. And because you probably got tired from us talking. And we need to save something for another episode. So probably see you in the next one.